VibeSheet AI is a private Google Sheet known as the Code Factory. The Code Factory will help you take your ideas and build them. We can build in over 50, could be even 80 different languages. Simply come here to our VibeSheet.ai training area. You'll have free training, and here you'll be able to access the private Google Sheet. On the left-hand side, you'll see there are different training videos and modules. From here, you can learn how to fix, customize, and explore using VibeSheet. The VibeSheet is a system. It's more than just a simple tool. It actually includes a research tool, an idea generator, and a full factory system where you can take ideas all the way to automation. Really, the ideas and what you can build are truly endless. We have a demo site for you to check out at vibelife42.com. I'll be adding video training here publicly for you to see how we build, and there's some free tools that you can download here. What are some of the things you can do? Well, we could do an AI chat directly in Google Sheet where you can analyze columns or rows of information. Here, I'm just looking at code for this chat sidebar in column A, and I'm just asking it, what is this code? And so from here, VibeSheet created a sidebar where we can start having conversations with our Google Sheet. It basically is saying, hey, this is the code. This is what it does. You can have follow-up questions. Really, it's a way for you to have a conversation with the code. So really simple tool, and VibeSheet was able to create this for us. So yeah, really basic example of a type of tool that you can build where you can put in your API key, connect to OpenAI, and you can start using AI directly in the Google Sheet. And this is code that you could customize and build out and make it your own. What else can we do? We could actually build scrapers right into Google Sheet. So if you want to build a tool that will scrape information from websites, you can simply do that as well. Here's an example of over 20 functions that I took from Magic Sheet or Sheet Magic, and I ended up building the their functions here directly. We also have AI available, so you can have conversations directly into prompts. So here I just ask, who are you? And the AI responds, I'm OpenAI. There's lots of different ways to bring in AI, switch models, and all that stuff. And all of that is available, and VibeSheet helped to build all of that for us. Build custom websites. You could build websites for local agencies, businesses. Get creative. Here you can see we got custom CSS, and this is all 100% AI built. So VibeSheet helped to create this. We ended up cleaning this up with ChatGPT and Codex, and we used ChatGPT to create the icons as well. So with that, we were able to create cool effects, and we have a truly unique and original website. The nice thing is you have full control over developing this, and you have creative power to really customize this and make it your own. Easy to create AI apps. Here's a real basic idea. This is a website you can go to, add in what you would like to analyze. For example, this is business ideas, and then we're going to send this over to the AI. And again, VibeSheet was able to allow us to it created the code that allowed us to add our token and have a conversation directly with an AI system. Or you could do video games. So really it starts to be kind of endless what we can do. We can do anything from robotics to video games to database stuff, web applications, extensions, plugins, WordPress plugins, Chrome extension. I mean, just the list is kind of endless. So again, you come back, you log in, you get your VibeSheet and start doing your training. And from there, you'll have access to the entire code factory. There is essentially 5 pieces to this, to the code factory, and we're going to take a look at all of them. So there's a menu, a main menu that loads at the top, and that allows us to access the different parts of the code factory. There's an AI research assistant. We have the VibeSheet dashboard, which kind of controls the overall process. We have an idea generator, a plan builder, and the script builder. Really, the core of the product, the heart of the product, is the script builder. And you can use each of these individually. Again, you can use each of these individually. You don't have to use them all together at the same time. However, you can run the idea generator, the plan builder, and the script builder all at the same time, where it runs nonstop, where you have all of your ideas on the idea sheet, and the tool will go and grab one idea at a time and start building it for you. So that is the overall big picture of the factory. But the script builder is the heart of how this runs, and most people start with the script builder. And I would recommend that you start with the script builder. Yeah, use what you need. You don't need to use it all. If you just need the script builder, just use that. If you just want to use the plan builder to start planning out your ideas, that's okay. The good news about all of this is you bring your own API key. And what does that mean? Well, you can go to OpenAI, you can go to OpenRouter, you can also go to Claude, which is Anthropic. You can go to Google's Gemini, and we also have Straco. They all have these keys that you can grab, and it's just a random letters and numbers, right? It's a key, they call it. Then you basically are going to generate a key from their system, add in your credit card for billing, and all of these are pay as you go. So you generate your key, put it into VibeSheet, and use as you go. This is really nice because it keeps the cost incredibly low. You only pay when you build, and it allows you to have a very highly scalable system where there are no limits to how much you can build. So add your key, the sheet will automatically select a model for you, and from here you can start using the sheet. It's going to be powered by your AI key at this point. I would recommend using the default model if you're just starting. Don't try to switch it yet. Just try to understand the basics. The very first thing we'll take a look at is a script builder. There are very few things you need to update. There is a project list in B1. So from here, you'll end up selecting the project list, and then there's some yellow fields you'll fill out. So K2, you can optionally add a Google Doc link there with your notes, but essentially you're going to update the project, the title, and your notes. So these yellow fields are what you're going to update. So again, select your project type. If you're not sure, just select general, then give it a name. And then what we'll do is you'll want to update your project notes. If you're curious how all this runs, there is a documentation button. If you click it, it'll actually have a pop-up that loads, and you'll be able to go through the different sections to learn more about how all of the script builder works. So I do try to keep that up to date. Our example that we're going to work on here, we're going to do a demo of a calorie health tracker. And so we want to give it a name, and then from here we're just going to start filling out the notes. You can manually type in all of the notes if you know what you want. If you're not 100% sure, we do have the plan builder sheet. That's an option for you, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit here, but for now, we'll just demonstrate how do we add notes. And so here we'll type in Google Sheet, and I want to be clear, it's a private Google Sheet versus an add-on. An add-on, we can put it in the Google Marketplace and actually sell this as an add-on, which is really cool. So that's something we could do, but I just want to do a private Google app for this demo, and then we're gonna type in some different notes here, different things we want, from health tracking to a sidebar, buttons, and all that. So anyways, now that you have your project type selected, name in your notes, that is really all you need. Optionally, we have cleaning cycles. The default is set to 2. This is a part of the phase 2. So phase 1, the AI project manager will review the notes, build the plan, and then it'll lay out all the files and start writing the code. Once phase 1 is done building all of your files and building the base code, the next phase, which is phase 2, that's going to go through cleaning. And so the code will loop through and it'll look file by file, and it will clean up the code to make sure that it's all working together. I get asked a lot of times how many cycles you should do. It really depends on the AI model and your experience with using VibeSheet. If you notice that it's better to run 4 or 6 cycles, go ahead and start setting that for yourself. However, if you're just starting out, I recommend starting on 2, see how it performs. The good thing about this tool is if you ever complete phase 1 and phase 2 and you come to the very end, all you have to do is click start one more time and the tool will jump right back into cleaning. So it'll jump right back into phase 2 and you'll be good to go. So essentially the AI project manager runs all of this for us, and it generates a overall project plan. You'll notice it has all the files listed in the plan. It has all the notes, the flows, all of this stuff is generated by the AI. And here's the powerful part. This project plan, along with some other sections in the app, are used on every single file that's being wrote. So we have a holistic view of all the code that's being generated. So when you go to create something that's a little bit more complicated and it has a lot more features, that project plan will be used on every single row. Every row represents a different file that you'll have inside of your app or tool or whatever it is that you're building. And this is how code is generally produced. The cool thing about this is it's a low cost sort of technique. It really doesn't take a lot to build. Each row typically is around 10 cents we're seeing. So it's a very effective use of your money to build out these apps with AI. However, it's a low code, which means you will need to touch the code, but you don't really have to write any code. So they call it low code. No code would be like if you went to Lovable or Bolt or one of these other platforms and they actually build for you. Now, while this is running, let's go ahead and look at the VibeSheet system or the rest of the sheets and tools. So we'll let this keep building and we'll let our demo run. So here is the VibeSheet master dashboard. This helps to run our factory, and we can run it on autopilot if we want to set up a bunch of our ideas and whatnot. But the one thing we want to do is, as we're running this overall process, we will want to set up GitHub so we can auto export. And we'll take a look at that. But really, the idea sheet, the idea planning, is where we list all of the different app ideas that we want to build, and we can have as many in this sheet as we want. I will say there is a limit. You can only do up to 1 million rows. So jokes aside, you can list a lot in here. So if you want to build a really big app that's really complicated, has a lot of features, maybe think about breaking out your idea into a bunch of different rows, and there's a bunch of different sections, and then you can set this to build each of your ideas. You brainstorm and build this out. You can get AI assistants to lay out your ideas in the idea sheet, and then you can come in here and edit any of this as much as you want. AI is just there to assist you, but the idea sheet is a really good place to queue up and prepare all of your ideas so that you can start building all of this at scale. So really powerful system that I think that you will really enjoy, and you can add and mix and put in any type of app idea in here that you want. So if you see a marketplace and you want to build a bunch of apps for testing, and you want to see what people might want, or you have a client that's got this wanting a bunch of like small apps or even bigger apps, this is the place to go. Now, when you load up the VibeSheet, that master dashboard, all of your ideas are going to be synced to your dashboard. And from here, we can now run our quick actions. So we can click on Start Build Flow, and that'll start actually building our ideas one at a time. Or we can do autopilot. Though we do want to set up GitHub at this point. It's important that you are able to bring your code into a professional tool. If you have never heard of GitHub or you haven't used it, really fantastic spot to go and save your code. It's for developers and for people that are writing code. Really easy to set up. There's a link that you'll click on. It'll go into your GitHub account, and you just generate a key, also called a token. It's the same thing as generating one from your AI system. So once you have that key, you'll come back into the sheet. You'll paste it into your personal access token, and you'll add your name, save, and GitHub will be hooked up. And then from here, you can click Start and run the system. Or really cool, you can turn on the autopilot mode. You can schedule up to 4 different schedules running every day. I recommend every 2 hours or so if you're going to do multiple schedules. And basically, as these run, it'll grab the first available idea, it'll process it, build it, and it will automatically export the code directly onto GitHub for you. So really cool system. You can queue up all your ideas on the idea sheet, come back to the VibeSheet dashboard, and then start scheduling those to run. If you're just trying to remember, hey, what system am I using? What model do I have? There is a system status area. So you'll see I'm using an open router. I'm using the model 04 mini, and then yes, I have GitHub set up, ready to go. So now when I go to run my autopilot, we're good to go. Now, optionally, there is the plan builder. So if you ever want to use this to write out all of your notes, you can bring this. You can actually create these questions for this. So these project notes we typed out manually for our demo, but let's say you're not quite sure how to do all that. So you'd come to your plan builder, you would pick your project type, and it will automatically load some questions for you. So you'll just click on step 2, load questions, and then from there you'll start answering all of the project questions. You can add additional questions into column A, and you can start to provide those to the AI. Now, when you answer all these questions, you can keep it as simple, or you can answer it as in detailed as you want. And once you have all of your questions answered, you'll just click on step 3, and that will generate the Google Doc link in C2. You'll see a link up here, and we'll have a Google Doc that we can actually go and edit. So you can see here, I'm just demonstrating really simple, short answers, and we'll just let the AI take these basic things and expand from there. Today we actually have even more questions being automatically added depending on your project type. So this has all been expanded. So by the time you see this, there's going to be even a few more questions that'll be specific to every single project type. And if you need to reset it, there is a clear and reset. So after generating the AI doc, you'll notice there's a link added to C2. Click it. You can jump right into the AI generated output, and you can start editing all of this if you want. So if it looks okay, all you have to do is cut and paste this URL into the script builder. However, you can come through, edit, add a few notes if you want. If you notice something's not quite right, feel free to polish it. You can also bring it into ChatGPT and start optimizing that way. But once you're done, all you have to do is copy and paste it right into your project notes. So we could have used this link to build out this calorie health tracker demo. And I'm demonstrating here that you can paste it in there. And so that is kind of the overall picture. But let's say you've got this factory running and you want to do some research, right? There's actually a really cool market research tool that will go out and look at AppSumo. It'll look at Product Hunt, and it'll look at real live marketplaces. So all you have to do is go into your settings, set up what you want to focus on, and then you'll be able to go through and set this up to run automatically, or you can manually just run this in batches. So adjust your settings here. Once you're done, you'll come back to your controls, and you'll simply, there's some buttons that you'll click, either start, and that will automatically start running and looping, or just run a single run research mode. And that'll go out, it'll look at different environments. It'll look at Product Hunt, it'll look at AppSumo, it'll try to find gaps on the market. So it's not going to just say these tools exist, you should build the same thing. No, it's actually going to say, okay, based upon your idea, I'm seeing there are some other gaps that we could look at. Why don't you build these tools, and these could work for you? So that is what's demonstrated here. And so you'll notice that based upon our research focus, which was very general, focus on business productivity tool, SaaS solutions, Chrome extension, and innovative applitions that solve real problems. And so that gave us just some general ideas. You'll notice the category was a general idea. One was a Chrome extension, and another one was just a general idea. So the tools, it is trying to find tools that it thinks that you might consider building. This is really easy to generate a lot of ideas or research topics. And from here, if there's something that you like, if you have the automation running for your factory, all you have to do is send it to the idea sheet. So there is a column with links to tools that got looked at for real. So for example, the code looked at this called Yoast SEO plugin that's on producthunt.com. This WordPress plugin has been around a long time, launched in 2015, so it's been around quite a while. So it saw that, it said, okay, here's some other tools that maybe this is not doing. Why don't you consider it? And we know this is a real, live tool. So, but again, if you find that, hey, I want to build this one, we can add the researched item to the idea sheet. So you just send it on over, and then when you take a look at your idea sheet, it'll be added to your queue. And here we can see the 1006. All of the research items are in the 1,000 range. We can see here we've got our new idea added to the idea sheet. And then all you have to do is reload the VibeSheet dashboard, and it's going to be loaded up and ready to go. So here we go. This is a VibeSheet dashboard, and it has been added to the factory, and we are ready to start building. So let's get on with our calorie demo. We're going to take a look at actually building this. So now we're done. So while we've been talking, this code is completely finished. We just want to make sure GitHub is set up, and we're going to export all of the code to GitHub. So you just add a repository name, add a description. Optionally, there's a README file that you can use, and then export to GitHub. And all this will do is it'll take every single row as an individual file, and it's going to get all of that into your GitHub account, which is designed for code. So very cool stuff. This really streamlines and makes things super efficient. And the really cool part about this is there are other AI tools out there that will help you clean and optimize this code. So it'll be really easy to clean and get things running. Typically, we find that it takes about 1 to 2 hours to clean code and then customize it and getting it looking exactly how you want it. Because the AI is such a flexible thing with VibeSheet, you can really create anything you want and customize it in different ways. So now that we got it in GitHub, we need to create the Google Sheet, and we need to start bringing in our project into Google Sheet. Now, there is no way to automatically add the code easily into a Google Sheet. So there will be a manual process, but from here, we're just going to click on File, New. We're going to create a brand new Google Sheet, and then we're going to go into Extensions in the menu, and we're going to go to App Script. And this is how we build our own personal Google Sheet app. And this is exactly how VibeSheet is built. So the cool thing about VibeSheet is you'll actually be able to see my code, which is really surprising to a lot of people, but it's very powerful this way. The one cool thing is using Codex. I'm going to demo here using Codex by OpenAI. So you log into your ChatGPT account, and on the left-hand side, you'll see Codex. Now, Codex will connect to your GitHub account automatically. So it's designed specifically to connect to GitHub. So that is why we're using GitHub. So what you'll do is you'll click on Manage Environments, and this is basically how you create a connection to your GitHub project. So you can see I've got a few tests in there, but what we're going to do is we're going to connect to our GitHub account, and then we're going to find our project, and then we'll scroll down to the bottom once we've got our project connected, and then we'll click on Create Environment. And from here, all we're going to do is, it's a lot like using ChatGPT or any of these AI systems, and we'll just be asking it to clean. Now, do you need to use Codex? No, there are other systems out there. You can use Google Jules has just launched. That's an option for you. I think they've launched recently. Cursor AI is another tool that could be used. Windsurfer is also another one. There are lots of different AI systems and tools out there, and soon we'll be using VibeSheet to even clean up code even further. So, but I do think you need to use all of the AI tools together to pull this off. It's going to be far more powerful, flexible, and you'll be far more successful at building tools. So VibeSheet, you can think of VibeSheet as the factory that puts everything together and gets you 90% of the way there. And then you're going to use these other tools to kind of tighten up the bolts, do the paint job, and kind of make sure that you polish things up with these tools. And then depending on what you're building, we'll have training on bringing this over to a server or bringing it over into Google Sheet or so on. So now we need to add the code to Google Sheet, and with GitHub, all we have to do is go file by file and copy and paste, copy and paste. So it's pretty quick to do this, but it is a manual task. However, you'll have your entire solution inside Google Sheet, and you'll be able to build some really cool stuff. AI-powered apps, automation tools, scraping tools, email tools. There's a lot that you can do. If you go look at the vibelife42.com, you'll see that I've got some different tools you can download, including an LTD tracker and some other options as well. And so all I'm doing here is I'm just copying and pasting and building out the files, and they're all now inside Google Sheet. And from here, we just run the new app. And if we run into any problems or any errors, we'll just quickly fix those. So at this point, we just have to authorize and activate it. Now we do run into a problem here. Not a big deal. So all we're going to do is we're going to jump into AppScript. And on the left-hand side, there is a place to find our logs. And so we're going to go in and grab our log, and we're going to see the error. We'll just open up one of the rows that has the error, and we're going to copy and paste that into ChatGPT for our Google Sheet project. And we'll give it all of our code, and we'll say, hey, here's the error, here's the code, help fix it. I like to say, just give me the function, and it will give it to you. So give me the function, I'll just paste it in, and it'll fix the thing that was causing the error. You'll notice it'll give you an AI analysis, but you don't need to read the analysis. You just need to fix the problem. Also, you can cut and paste directly from tools into ChatGPT. So here I'm saying clean up the interface, make it fancier, make it look cool, make this look awesome. And let's go ahead and update this sidebar. And so it did. It gave me an updated sidebar. So I'm going to grab that, paste it into the Google Sheet, save, and then all of a sudden now I've got a working app with a nice looking interface. And now we just run the app. And so from here, all I'm doing is using the thing I built. I'm adding in my calories, adding in my data, and I'm just testing. We'll click save, it added automatically. One thing I'll do is I'll test the view statistics. So we'll add in a whole bunch of data here, and then we'll just test that the graphs and everything are working correctly. So here I don't have enough data, so I need to go ahead and fake it. So I'm going to add in a whole bunch of information here. And Google Sheet does great for tracking lots of information, and it allows us to do graphs and all sorts of cool stuff. And so anyways, VibeSheet allowed us to build this really cool little tool. And that is the overview of the VibeSheet Code Factory. So again, come on over, jump into our course, grab our link, start your training, and start building really cool stuff. I'm excited for you. I think this is a very powerful tool. This is a really cool opportunity to leverage some AI automation. If you have any questions, reach out to us at hey@vibesheet.ai. Happy to answer any questions, but we got all sorts of training for you.